Hello everybody, this is Intrepid83 coming to you with my very first, I guess you could say, commentary video of the new year of 2020. And to that, even though it may be a bit belated, I guess this would be a good opportunity to wish you all a happy new year to all of you. And yeah, I wish you peace and joy in the year to come and in times to come too. But anyways, thought I'd mention that with regards to that. And on top of that, this is also a bit of a, I guess you could probably call it, I feel like it's a somewhat of an oddball video to post, celebrating 1,500 subscribers instead of like 1,000 or 2,000. I mean, I did do a Q&A video for 1,000 subscribers, but as time went on after that one, I thought, I got an idea, I had an idea blossoming in my head of what if I were to turn the tables, so to speak, make this sort of and come up with a somewhat of a reverse Q&A, if you will. Obviously, the whole Q&A format seemed to be pretty popular amongst the YouTubing community, and obviously I ended up going with that with 1,000 subscribers, but I thought it might be fun to turn it around like this. So I figured, what the heck, let's make a video celebrating 1,500 subscribers, and we'll see how it works out. So basically, what's normally, for a Q&A video, I did what I did for the 1,000 subscriber Q&A. I posted a video beforehand, letting you know that was or if you had any questions you wanted to ask me, you could send them to me through the email on my channel, and I would answer them on in a video. In this case, I'm actually going to be asking you, the viewers, questions here for you to answer. I will be giving my answers along with them, and I just thought it'd be a good way to get to know each other a bit more. Just the fact that we are a community here, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with me for the past while. Things have been pretty rough for me for the past little while. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on it too long, but anyways. So let's get started. I've got a list here of 10 questions. If I think of an 11th or a bonus one, then I'll mention it at the end of the video. But I've got 10 questions here, and I've got I'm open to a bonus one if it happens to come to mind throughout this video. So, question number 1: when is your birthday? Mine. Some of you may already know what my birthday is, because I have actually had at least one person wish me happy birthday on my birthday, and I had no clue that they even knew that it was my birthday when they mentioned it. But my birthday is January 6th, so yeah. And there's a bit of an Easter egg on this channel with regards to that date, but extra thumbs up to you if you can find it. But anyways, so yeah. Question number 1: when is your birthday? Question number 2: no need for year of birth, year of birth or anything like that. Don't really need to know that. Just birthday is just fine. Question number 2: what is your favorite pizza topping? Obviously, some people may not enjoy pizza, but I do. And obviously, as far as these questions go, answer them to whichever ones apply to you, kind of thing. There's no wrong answers, I guess you could say. If you got an answer and you want to share it, by all means, go ahead. But I'm definitely not going to push you to answer them. Just thought I'd see how this kind of format works out. It'll help us get to know each other, like I said. All right, so yeah, favorite pizza toppings, and just to alleviate any anxiety, I indeed enjoy pineapple on my pizza. If I were to have only one topping on a pizza, aside from cheese and tomato pizza sauce and all that stuff, I would have to say pineapple. I'd probably say my top 3 are pineapple, onions, and peppers. So it doesn't matter if they're sweet or hot peppers or banana peppers, but those are the 3: pineapple, onions, and peppers. Question number 3: what is your favorite place to eat out at? Now, this one, obviously, you can give multiple answers, because it quite honestly, if you're like myself, there are multiple places you like to eat out at, depending on what time of day it is. Like for instance, for me, for breakfast, I'd probably say my favorite place to eat out at would be A&W, as far as fast food goes. And as far as regular sit-down places, it varies. Just depends on where I am or where I want to go, kind of thing. So it just depends on where I go. But yeah, so probably say as far as fast food goes, favorite place to eat out for breakfast would be A&W. For lunch and dinner, I'm not sure how common this particular place is, but I do know of a place called Bawarchi Kebab. I believe it's Afghan food. It's Afghan and Indian food. It's one of those mall kiosks, I guess you could say, mall restaurants, like in food courts. But it's just, every time I go there, it's absolutely delicious. No, the people that serve it are really nice as well, and so obviously that definitely helps. But no, definitely, if you haven't had Afghan food, I recommend it. It can be a bit spicy, depending on what you get. Same with Indian food, but yeah, I can't really pick a specific dish, but yeah, it's just whatever piques my interest at the time is just. But I'd probably say, I mean, obviously there's the good old butter chicken stuff. That's for Indian food, and for Afghan food, I'd probably say, I can't remember what it's called, but it's well, I can't remember exactly what the dish is called, but I can just say I'm a fan of Afghan food. So yeah, Afghan and Indian food. So Bawarchi Kebab is probably my favorite place to eat out as far as lunch and or dinner goes. Alright, question number 4. Switching gears here. Do you have a favorite TV show or series, or even a movie if you don't watch TV like myself? I rarely watch TV, and usually whenever I do watch TV, it's usually when I'm out. So yeah, TV show or series that you're watching right now, or if in general that may not be on the air anymore, that was your favorite series, or if you can't really, or a movie as well, or rather a movie, but if you can't really pick one like me, there's so many great shows and movies over the years that you just can't figure out which one you would probably say is the best. I guess you could probably say, to make it easier, I'd say pick one that which seems to have left the biggest imprint on you afterwards, whether it's a current show or one in the past. For me, I'd probably have to say it was actually a show, film, I believe it was Canadian. It was a Canadian show. It was called Regenesis. I believe it was mostly, if not all, filmed in Toronto. It was all about it took place in a biolab, so to speak. Like these people, I think that one of the main actors, you might recognize him from a movie from a year back in the 90s with John Candy in Cool Runnings. Peter Outerbridge was actually one of the lead roles in it, and I believe Ellen Page, when she was younger, was in it as well, and that's when I first, I believe, was introduced to her as an actor. And yeah, it was all about viruses and how they were discovering cures and all that kind of stuff, and investigating mysterious outbreaks and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really good show. I believe it went on for 4 seasons, and yeah, that's definitely one show that definitely seemed to have left the biggest imprint on me from watching it. So yeah, Regenesis, I recommend it if you can get your hands on it. I think I've got the full first season on DVD, but I don't think I've ever been able to track down any of the other seasons, unfortunately. So, yeah. In any case, Regenesis, I recommend it if you're interested in that kind of stuff, like with diseases and that kind of stuff. So, and lab work and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, if you find it interesting. All right, and question number 5: do you read, and what is your favorite book and or book series? This one, I will allow multiple answers if they are different genres. So yeah, in my case, I've had an interesting experience with fantasy books in that I managed to find a series that had left such a profound impact on me when I was reading it, or that I enjoyed it so much that it actually ruined fantasy for me, really. I used to read a lot of Forgotten Realms, and in the Faerun world, if you will. Pardon me. That includes the Dritz series and all that kind of stuff. But this one series I found basically made me not need to read any more from the Forgotten Realms, and that is, it's actually a series of 3 books called Starlight and Shadows by Elaine Cunningham. It's just something about it. It's the main characters, I think it's pretty much there's 2 main characters. There's a drow female named Lyriel Bainra. Anybody familiar with the drow probably knows that last name, so yeah. And she was actually Gromph's daughter, and he actually trained her to be a wizard at a very young age, instead of having her focus on being a priestess and that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely I highly recommend the Starlight and Shadow series. It's very easy to read as far as what I would consider to be easy to read. So fairly easy to read, and just some very, very profound, impactful, emotional moments in the story that really definitely solidified it for me as being one of the best fantasy books I've ever read, or fantasy series I've ever read. On top of that, as far as I'd probably say I'd go into sci-fi, it would be the Ender's Game series. Really enjoyed those, read them multiple times, and same goes for the Starlight and Shadows series. I've read those multiple times. In fact, I got to the point where I'd read them so much that they were getting a bit dirty, and it ended up buying them again on an e-reader that I got for Christmas one year. So yeah, bought it multiple times just because I enjoyed them so much. And so yeah, the Ender's Game series, read the entire series, loved it. Kind of unfortunate that the movie Ender's Game it seemed like it might have been the only one that'll ever see the light of day in terms of production, as far as any movies with those books go. But yeah, definitely Ender's Game series and the Shadow there's a bunch of other, I guess, alternative stories along the lines of Ender Game as well. I think it's called the Shadow something. It's been a while since I've read them, but yeah, just the I think there was like Shadow of the Hegemon, Shadow. I think there was even one book that gave the history and the backstory behind Bean. If you're familiar with his stories, you know who he is. But yeah, I definitely recommend them as far as sci-fi goes. And yeah, the Ender's Game series, definitely a good read. And well, it's one of those series that's probably acclaimed by multiple generations by now, because I think they were originally written back in the 80s. So yeah. And I do enjoy the occasional documentary. I wouldn't say there's any particular one that I would call my favorite, but I am currently in the process of reading through I think it's William Manchester or something like that. He wrote a huge I think a 3-book series on the life of Winston Churchill. I believe I'm probably about a third of the way, if I'm not mistaken, about a third of the way through the first book, and they are large books if you haven't seen them before. So yeah, I think easily 800 page plus, maybe even 1,000 pages plus each. So yeah, definitely into that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, I'm reading that right now. I wouldn't say it would be the best one I've ever read, but I've read a few of them. But then again, saying one person's life is more meaningful than another person is kind of ignorant, I guess you could say. So yeah, just I'm a fan of documentaries, and they all seem to, any documentaries I read tend to have their own obviously you're reading about somebody's life, so it's always interesting to, especially historical figures like Winston Churchill. They're always interesting to read about, especially considering who he was and the impact, the undeniable impact he had on World War II and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I still got to get through that in order to really develop an opinion of it. But it is somebody's life, and so I will definitely take that into consideration as far as as I read. But anyways, so yeah, favorite book or series. Multiple answers allowed if they're different genres, and I guess you could say, how would you recommend it to somebody? That'd be, doesn't have to be a long-winded explanation like I just gave for mine. Just something that if you like such and such, like a TV show or whatever, then you'll probably like this. And yeah, so that's that. And one other thing, I have listened to the audiobook of the first book of the Game of Thrones series. I haven't gotten into any of the other ones, but the first one, I would say pick it up just for the sake of the person reading it, because I believe it was read by Roy Dotrice, and I just happened to come across some news over the past a few years ago or whatever. I think it may have been last year, maybe the year before or whatever, but he did pass away a little while ago, which is unfortunate. But the one thing about the Game of Thrones audiobook is that very first book, he set a Guinness World Record for the most number of different voices of that an audiobook reader had ever done. So just for the sake of that, on its own merit, it'd be it's interesting to listen to it, and there's like, how did he keep track of all these different voices in his head? But anyways, so yeah, another good one to take a look into, especially as far as audiobooks go. Audiobooks can get a bit pricey, but it just adds a bit more depth to the and immersion, I guess you could say, of experiencing the story that way. But anyways. All right, on to the question number 6. Do you have a favorite anime? This one I'm actually not expecting everybody to have an answer for, but I figured I'd include it because, it's. I feel like it would be relatively relevant to my channel and the games that I've played up to this point and that kind of stuff, so like JRPGs and all that stuff. So I figured, it's fair enough to put it on as a question. So yeah, favorite anime. For me, again, this comes down to an anime I watched, and it pretty much ruined the rest of the anime for me, along the same lines as Starlight and Shadows did. Believe it or not, I think it's actually a young adult series called Lovely Complex. And I'd probably say the best, as far as how I'd recommend it to someone, if you've ever experienced unrequited love, especially in high school, I'd probably say most of us have experienced that. It is extremely well done with regards to how they developed I guess you'd say the characters' emotions and feelings, and how they reacted, how they responded, and all that kind of stuff. It really hit home for me, and I don't think an anime has made me blubber like a baby so much in a very. I don't think I've ever had an anime or anything like that affect me as profoundly as that series did. So Lovely Complex may seem kind of silly when you see what it looks like, but I'd say give it a watch and see it is really funny as well. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite anime of all time. And again, how would you recommend it to someone? Like I said, just as far as I'm concerned, if you've been to high school, chances are you could probably relate to them, relate to the characters. All right, and if not, I guess I don't know if I'd call you blessed or not, because it's painful, but you do learn a lot. So, going through those types of emotions. So yeah. Question number 7. I guess we're getting into a bit more. I guess you could say, quote-unquote professional questions here. But question number 7, how did you find this channel? Obviously, we've got 1,500 subscribers here, and you all came here, you all subscribed somehow by finding the channel at some point. So yeah, I'd like to know how you found the channel. Maybe, just how'd you find it? I don't know how. There's so many different ways that you could have found it, and well, I'll leave that up to you to answer, should you choose to answer it. Question number 8: are you yourself a content creator on YouTube? Do you have a channel? This is definitely a time where I would encourage you. As much as I don't like it when people do it to random videos here and there, this is definitely an opportunity. I'm giving you the opportunity to actually post a channel if it's not your if the account you're on right now that you're responding to these questions with is not where your channel is. Feel free to post the link to your or at least if you can't post the link, just post the name of your channel, and so that we can look it up in YouTube and take a look at it and see what you've got as well. So yeah, content creator on YouTube. Post your channel in the comment section. Number 9 is this is taking the focus off ourselves here, and I'm asking, obviously 1,500 people here, we could have a lot of different recommendations for this one, and this is all about growing our community here as well, and just sharing things with each other that you've experienced. YouTube is a huge place. There's like billions of minutes of content uploaded every day kind of thing, so there's got to be something here, a question or an answer here for hopefully at least one answer from each of you is that choose to answer it. Is there one channel that you would recommend to whoever reads your comment for this channel? It's your opportunity. If you know some relatively small channels that you'd like to help out and maybe get them a few more viewers, this is your opportunity to share them with us in the comment section. So yeah, post the name of the channel and we can look it up and take a look at it and see if they make some content that we would enjoy as well. So question number 9: one channel that you would recommend. All right, and question, actually, is there any that I would recommend? I could probably say 2 channels that I would recommend. One is actually a YouTube channel that is mainly YouTube, or is definitely seems to be more geared towards uploading YouTube rather than just Twitch. But another one is a channel on YouTube, but he is very much a Twitch streamer, so the channel I would recommend would be the Bowling Otter Show. Yeah, so recommend Bowling Otter to search for YouTube, and it's a husband and wife duo, and I actually found them through To the Moon LP years ago. So yeah, their family has grown over the years as well. They've got 2 children now, and so they're worth checking out, at least to see if you're a cup of tea or not. But anyways, and for the other one, I would for the Twitch streamer, I'd probably say CoHcarnage, CoHcarnage. He's a full-time Twitch streamer, but he does upload, I guess you could say, his videos usually about a half hour, splits them up into half hours, and he uploads them to YouTube for the added, I guess you could say, security, I guess you could say, for his income, just from the YouTube income kind of thing. So yeah, so Bowling Otter and CoHcarnage are probably be the 2 that I recommend the most, and to check out anyways. And question number 10. This is a straight up question for you viewers, whether you're a subscriber or not. And I probably should have said this at the very beginning. You can answer these even if you are not a subscriber. This is about getting to know our community, 1,500 subscribers, and I'm based on my own experiences. you don't have to be a subscriber to be a viewer. So yeah, you're included as well. If you're, I guess you could say Twitch would call them lurkers, if you will, that just, you know, just drop in every so often to take a look at what's going on the channel. You are definitely welcome to answer these questions, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, this is going out to all of you, all 10 of these questions. So anyways, question number 10: what game or franchise would you like to see me LP, or would you be interested in seeing me LP or let's play on this channel? So yeah, preferably I'd only want one answer from per person, but yeah, that's why I worded it the way I did. What is one game or franchise you would be interested in seeing me let's play on this channel? So yeah. And any bonus question that I might be able to come up with? No, I guess not. I mean, one I could probably, there is one question I could ask, but the thing is, the YouTube Studio thing should be actually telling me this information. I should be able to look it up. But about you know, methods of watching the content on this channel, like, you know, whether it's a desktop, laptop, whether it's on your phone or maybe a tablet or something like that. If you feel like you want to answer that question, it's just a bonus one. Feel free to post your answers there for the bonus. So yeah, what's your main? What do you find that you watch the content on this channel the most with? So yeah, I usually go. For me, it's usually either my desktop PC or my phone, depending on whether I'm cooking or not. So yeah, those would probably be my two choices for that. Two answers for that question. So yeah, desktop and phone for that one. Alright, so I guess this video is going on a bit longer than I was expecting, but then again, I just wanted to be able to, it's less than a half hour, so I should be fine. But, yeah, it's the first legit commentary, I guess you could say, quote-unquote commentary video I've posted of 2020, so, you know, having it to reach almost a half hour, I figure is a-okay, I guess. But, yeah, so definitely a half hour that we can, you know, get to know each other a bit better, and as you can see from the content the content I decided to pair with this video, I am still working on the Final Fantasy X-2. Obviously, things slowed down quite a bit back when I was without the ability to use my since the Windows 10 update or whatever officially broke the drivers for my capture cards. So I've managed to figure out something to help with that, and so now you're definitely seeing the result of that quote-unquote workaround, if you will. So yeah, still working on the Final Fantasy X-2 LP along with a few other things when I'm taking a break from that, and yeah, so as far as that goes, keep your eyes peeled on the channel for any updates with regards to when that series would be started. And remember that that series will be going up on my old channel as one of the 3 outstanding LPs remaining for that channel before I officially call it quits there. But it's another thing I've been thinking about doing as well once I get to the end of those 3 LPs, but I've got some time before I decide to do that. So yeah, definitely an idea to mull over the leading up to that, but I'll worry about those, and I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, so to speak. So yeah. All right. So again, yeah, just feel free to answer as many or as few of those questions as you feel like you have an answer for, or you feel like you want to, and look forward to reading all of your answers and all of the different answers that will come up. So yeah. Alright, so this is Intrepid83 signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support over the years. Thank you for bearing with me over this past months, if you will, of lack of content on my channel. And I hope we can continue to grow in the coming months, years, however. Well, whatever is in store for this channel, and yeah, definitely something I intend to do for the foreseeable future on my part. So yeah, I hope you'll be there with us moving forward. This is Intrepid83 signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be blessed, Happy New Year, and have a good one.